Hey everybody, welcome to a new video. This is something a little bit different. This is a Robo review, which I've done before. You'll see some of my Robos. But this one is I don't know what to expect from this one at all. And I'll tell you why. Randomly, across Facebook, which is the only real social media I use, other than, I guess, if you consider YouTube social media, you get this Facebook ads for different things, like there's a moth. Excuse me, sir. For like Hot Topic or for Kohl's or for whatever, Walmart. And one came up for a chain called Five Below. Five Below is kind of like a sort of dollar store where most everything is $5 or less. It's Five Below, right? I don't give it much thought usually because most of the stuff's junk, right? I mean, not everything that's five or below is going to be junk, but most of the stuff they advertise is kind of, I don't need it, and I don't want it, and if it's that cheap, there's got to be a reason. So this time, it came up with a picture of a robot toy, and I thought, okay, so I clicked it, maybe against my better judgment, I don't know, we're going to find out. I clicked it, and it was a transforming jet robot. And you also had the option for a transforming tank robot. And in the pictures, they didn't look half bad. And I feel like I'm going to get punked on this. But each of these robots was $5. And so I thought to myself, how do these compare to the Hasbro stuff that I'm mostly into buying? So here we are. Two $5 robots shipped to my house from Five Below. I didn't go pick them up. I don't know where the closest Five Below is, but I had them shipped. Shipping was like $8, unfortunately. But whatever. So they're $5 each. We're gonna take a look and see if they stack up at all with the Hasbro stuff. And they had other things too. They had some car robots that looked distinctly, they were a different brand and they looked distinctly a lot more cheap. So it's kind of like, they were still $5, but I was like, they look less than $5 to me. So here's the first one, and the box art looks kind of cool. It's bigger than I thought it was going to be. It's called J Dominant Converts. And on the front, Jungle Tank. J Dominant Jungle Tank. Not a bad size. It looks, I don't know, it doesn't look bad from there so far. The second one is Ultrasonic. Ultrasonic. I don't think the colors match the box. What's in the box? It looks red and blue there. Interesting head sculpt. But from here, he's black and gold. But I like that head sculpt. It's very Starscream Seeker-esque. Ultrasonic. Airfighter. They are very light. Super light. But you got some decent box art on the side. Like, they look kind of menacing. They look like they might be decent custom characters, you know? So we are going to see if these are any good at all. Let's open up the tank robot. Let's open up J Dominant. J Dominant. He's dropping his new rap album. He converts from a tank to a robot in 6 steps, which is not a whole lot. but he looks like he's relatively articulate. So let's see what we got. Let's look over the box here. Very lightweight plastic, definitely. Does not bend at the knees at all. Here's J Dominant, the tank robot. His head appears to be... You cannot turn his head. Okay. He walks like this. Theoretically, he could go all the way like back and forth because of the way his legs are, but they're stopped by the plastic. His arms go all the way around. He's got elbow joints of a sort. He's got a waist swivel. He's got a waist swivel. The head's kind of throwing me off because it's a perpetually looking up kind of thing. He's got not much in the shoulders here. Let's take a look here. You know, for being a cheap little toy, he's got a little plug thing that goes along the front here. So I wonder what that's all about. And then he's got his tank turret, which has his gun, his accessories. Okay, so the gun turret is kind of a classic, like Transformers-esque design. Fits in his hand well. There he goes. Not bad. He's super lightweight plastic, though. This is some pretty cheap plastic. Like, I know I should have probably expected this, and I did, kind of. But, awfully cheap plastic. But that's fine. Being like a grunt or something. You could get several of these and do like an army build kind of thing. And he's got a peg on the rest of the tank part to make kind of a shield. You could put that on his arm there. So give him a shield there. So not bad. I mean, it's not great. It's not great by any means. But it is not as bad as I would have thought for $5. You know? Let's see about the transformation here. Got to reattach the gun here with the tab, with the plug or the whatever. Reattach the gun. Maybe. There we go. Attach the gun back with the other part. So it's one unit. The arms collapse like that. The head goes back. They just kind of go back like that. And they fold forward. Right? So you take that. I don't usually do transforming videos. But there's that. Oh, you were supposed to... Okay. You got to do something else first or it won't fit right. You got to move his chest up. And you got to flip the waist. All right? Then you do those arms. And then, what do you do with these? Ah, okay. These have little plug things, right? You can see how one's different. That lock the legs together. And then you put them back, push the legs up. So like that. And you plug those back in. Sort of. And then you put the tank piece on top. And there he is. And I don't know why he's got this front piece. It's like maybe he was meant to be a combiner of some kind. Can't do anything with the feet back there, so they're just like that. But honestly, not the worst. Like, for $5, not much to complain about, to be honest, as far as J Dominant, the tank robot. There's a little backdrop inside the box if you want to open up your box to use that. There's no other instructions or documentation of any kind. I wonder if there's made in China. Not a surprise. Even the regular Hasbro stuff is made in China. So we'll set him aside now. And let's get into Alphasonic. Ultrasonic. Excuse me, Ultrasonic. And see how he does. He also transforms from Jet to Robot in 6 seconds. Don't want to stab myself, so I'm going to put that away. And there's nothing securing them inside here, too. There's a piece of tape on the bottom to hold this shut, but there's nothing securing them inside this little plastic bubble. He has 2 guns, and one of his was sitting around loose. Now, he already has slightly better articulation than his buddy, which I guess, you would get from a tank robot versus a more nimble jet robot, right? Set those aside. He, I think, is going to be slightly better quality of the 2. Alright, let me have a drink here. I feel like I'm going to need some drinks for this kind of stuff. Okay. So in the box, he's got this big flap back here. It's a solid piece. And it goes down here. And when I saw him advertised, he had it down here like that. He didn't have it. They actually had it out like that in a weird angle. But you could probably have it either way. He's got decent elbow joints. He's got all the way around. He's got full shoulder motion and everything like that. See? Does his head turn? I don't know. I don't think so. It's a decent face sculpt, though. He also has bendable knees, which the tank robot doesn't. And his ankles go forward, probably for transformation, but still, that gives him better posing opportunities. He'll pose a little bit better. His hips are a bit loose, but what are you going to expect? The plastic still feels just as cheap, but I think this is the better figure of the 2, to be honest. And he's got 2 of these little minigun kind of things. Don't quite fit in his hand very well. Super tight. Super tight. Let's see if I can get the other one in. Ooh. Yeah, those pegs are super tight. I don't want them going nowhere. So he can shoot in all kinds of directions, but he cannot look in any of those directions. So he's just going to hope he shoots straight. Okay, let's pull those out. Let's see about transforming him here. Assume his back skirt comes down. We're going to tip his feet up first, collapse them. This is probably not a real good... This isn't meant to be a transformation tutorial particularly, but it's just figure while you're watching. He doesn't have a waist swivel, so this chest piece goes up, right? The cone, the back of the plane goes back. His legs fit together with a couple of pegs, a couple of tabs there, see? And they go together. Looks like they got to be up and straight to do that. Okay. He doesn't fit together real well. His arms, he's got this swing down thing that his arms do. And there's a little, there's one arm that's come off, but that's from the ball joint here, so that's fine. But there's a little, tiny little tab there that it plugs into to keep it secure. On the wrist, secure it to the wing. And that looks like that's how it's going to be. So it's not perfect. There's some gappy things going on, but you know what? For $5 again, I guess I can't complain too much. Where would his guns go on here? Let's see. Where are his guns going to go? I guess in his hands underneath here. Or they can go by his feet. He's got these plugs by his feet and plug his guns into, which is kind of weird. But I guess that's where it's supposed to go. Down under there. So and his head just kind of peeks out. So that is ultrasonic. Ultrasonic and J dominant. $5 each for these. We'll see how long they last, to be honest, because the plastic does feel awfully light. It's super lightweight plastic. Like there's almost nothing to these compared to like something like this is a lot heavier. All right. But for $5 each, they're honestly not bad. They don't have the best articulation. The jet is definitely better than the tank as far as articulation. But when you think about it, as far as a character wise, he's going to be a heavier, more clunky character. So that makes sense, I guess, if you're trying to give some kind of reasoning to anything. And the transformation is simple. Not a lot to it. Not a lot to mess up either. So there's not much to break. So $5 each from 5 below. plus for me in Ohio from Indiana, it was technically like $7.98 shipping rather than $8, but $8. So it was $18 to get these. So with shipping, you look at that and you think like $9 each, which is less than a Legends class Transformer, which is generally like $12, $11.99 from Hasbro. And those are this big. So you're looking at that versus something this size, So that's not bad, to be honest. If you're looking for a bargain on some cheap army builder kind of stuff, you just want some drones for your robot displays, Five Below. They didn't sponsor this video. They don't have any idea that I was doing this video, so there's no money changing hands there other than the fact that I bought their product. I haven't ever bought anything else from there that I'm aware of. But since I do robot reviews occasionally, I thought this was worth doing. I will get these on the turntable over the next few days so that we can see them spinning all around with some nice snazzy music, but just so we can get a better view of everything rather than the way that I'm doing it here, because this is kind of slapdash, to be honest. But that's it. That's the latest edition of Robot Reviews, brought to you by LTATM.net. Let's talk about the madness. You see the little ticker on the bottom of the screen there doing its thing. Please visit there for all of my video content, as well as everything from This Uncanny Earth, Big Buff Records, local events, Spider in the Hall music, everything you could possibly want that I do, and more is going to be there. Have a good